Hello everyone, this is Jay Singh from ResponseiQ again. I'm the head of marketing and growth here. Today we're going to have a look at how you can use Google Tag Manager to install the ResponseiQ widget on your website. We'll start out with how you can use Google Tag Manager to install the widget on all pages, which is the most common scenario where people want the widget to show up on all their pages. And then we'll have a look at how you can do some slightly more advanced things and make the widget only show up on certain pages or have different widgets on different pages. So let's get started here. So the first thing you're going to want to do is make sure that you have the correct widget selected. So today again we're going to be using our Inkdesk website as an example, and we can see here that we have the Inkdesk widget selected. We then go to Settings, Installation, and here you can see this is the script for that widget. So we simply copy that, we go into Google Tag Manager. Make sure that you're in the correct workspace. So here we can see that we're in inkdesk.com, which is exactly where we want it to be. Then you need to click on New Tag. And there's two parts to this. So you have to do the tag configuration and the trigger configuration. So let's do the tag configuration first by clicking on it. We select Custom HTML and we simply paste the code we got from the ResponseiQ installation settings. And that's now our tag configured. Now we have to then define when we want this tag to fire. So for this example, let's first of all fire it on all of our Inkdesk pages. So if we click triggering and we simply choose all pages and save. So it'll ask you to give your tag a name. So this is RIQ widget all pages. Then we can go ahead. Before we submit, what I would recommend is that you preview your changes. So if you click preview, what it does is on the computer or on the browser that you're currently using, it'll enter you into what Google Tag Manager called debug mode. So you can see that we're now previewing the workspace. If you go to our website and if we hit refresh, you can see that this little panel opens, and this is the Google Tag Manager debugging mode, and it gives you a summary every time you open a page. So here we can see that the RIQ widget was fired on this page, and sure enough, if you minimize this, we can see that the widget is now appearing here. We can test this on different pages. So if you go to our data page, you can see that the widget is also being fired here. If we minimize this, again you can see it in the bottom left hand side. So this is a good way before you actually launch the widget onto your full live site, if you want to test what it looks like on your site, if you want to see what the text looks like, and then obviously you can do all the customization around the colors and the text directly from the ResponseiQ panel. So now that we're happy that the widget's on all the pages and looking as we want it to look, we can then go ahead and submit our changes. We'll give this a version name, which is RIQ widget added. For the sake of example, I'll just use the same description and publish those changes. So if we go back to our workspace now, and if we leave the preview mode, that means now when we go back and hit refresh on the website, we're looking at it as anyone visiting the website would see it, the full live version. There we go, and you can see that there's no debug mode, and you can see that the widget is showing up as it should. So that's the basic installation using Google Tag Manager and firing the widget on all pages. But let's say we only want to fire the widget on the data page here, for example. So let's go to the data page. Then we'll go back to Google Tag Manager and we can find our tags, and we can find this RIQ widget all pages. So that's the tag we previously created, and all we're going to do is change this to data page only. The code will stay the same as long as it's the same widget that you want to fire, but if you only want to fire it on the data page, what will change is the trigger. So in the trigger here, what we'll do is we'll remove all pages, we'll add a new trigger. So if you click the plus on the top right and you click trigger configuration, It'll be a page view because we only want it for a certain URL. It's not all pages, it's some pages. And then if we choose page URL and then starts with, and if we paste the URL off that page in here now, nope, that's not it. Let's copy it from here. That's the URL, so that's the only URL where we want the widget to show up on. If you're doing Google AdWords advertising or anything like that, and you have things which add to your URL, so UTM tracking or anything like that, I recommend using the starts with rule because it'll always start the same way, and then it might have the question UTM and all the different sources and campaigns, but it'll always start the same way. So let's go ahead and name this trigger only data page. That's now saved. And if we click save here, and we can actually go ahead and submit this. So RIQ widget only on data page. We click publish on there. So now what we should have is, if we go to the home page and do a hard refresh. Oh, apologies, we're still in the same session. So what we'll do is we'll go to an incognito window, so like a new user would be coming onto your website, and then we'll go onto inkdesk.com. What we'll see here is on the home page, the widget is now not firing, but then if we go on to the data page, the widget is firing. So that's the rule that we set. So when the URL equals this, the widget will fire. If it doesn't, it won't. So we can go on to the pricing page as well, and it won't fire. So that's how you use Google Tag Manager to install the widget onto your site, on all pages or some pages. Some people, what they like to do as well is have different widgets for different pages. For example, if you're a travel company and you have a sales team who only look after Caribbean holidays, then on all the Caribbean holiday pages you'll want one widget, and then on, let's say, all holidays in France, you will have another widget, and all you have to really do there is it's just a different code that you fire on each page. So for example, let's say that if we go to our tags, RIQ, so this is the tag we just created. Let's say that this was we made this trigger to be /Caribbean, starts with /Caribbean. Then we would simply just make sure that we take the correct Caribbean widget code from the ResponseiQ panel and enter it here, and then you'd have multiple tags for multiple widgets firing on your Google Tag Manager account. As always, if you have any questions or need any help getting set up, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. You can reach out to us at support@responseiq.com, or you can use the live chat in the platform as well. Thank you very much.